We talk a lot about risk factors and prevention and management because living with diabetes comes with health complications. It sure does. There are different diseases, type 2 and type 1, and type 2 is increasing and it's hard to manage, but you goes up. You get damage to blood vessels, particularly small blood vessels. You get damage to nerves. You get damage to your kidneys. You can lose your eyesight. To your extremities can go numb, so it affects your whole body and shortens your life. But that's not the only thing that you're going to be talking about. No, I want to talk about something that we haven't talked about in much detail before because there wasn't actually a huge amount of solid data on it until quite recently, and that's the increased risk of serious injury for people with type 1 or type 2 diabetes. For example, someone with type 1 diabetes 6 to 7 times more likely to have a hip fracture than a non-diabetic person. Gosh, that's extraordinary. Yeah, obviously has huge implications for people's safety, and there is more that we could be doing to protect against it according to a recent study. And I've been chatting to senior author Jonathan Shaw from the Baker Institute. What we thought we knew about diabetes, that its complications and its consequences were things like eye disease, kidney disease, foot problems, heart attacks and strokes, the sort of things that everybody learns about when they develop diabetes. That doctors are taught about is only part of the story. Those are certainly important complications of diabetes, but we continue to discover more and more about the wider impacts of diabetes. And this is one example that we found, that people with diabetes are more likely to be admitted to hospital for serious injuries than are people from the general population. So we're talking about serious injuries that might have been caused indirectly by the sorts of complications that you mentioned before, things like the changes to the way people might be able to feel with their extremities or their eyesight, maybe leading to falls. Yes, so that will be part of it. Is that sort of increased vulnerability caused by things like loss of sensation, particularly in the feet, and perhaps visual problems? But the other important thing that seems to be a part of this is the effects of some medications for diabetes, particularly those that make the blood sugar go too low, and that's primarily insulin and one particular category of tablets that are used for diabetes called Sulfan, Alias, and both of those can make the blood sugar go too low, and when that happens the people may fall, they may be more likely to have accidents and therefore put themselves at risk of serious injuries. What kind of injuries are we talking about? Well, we looked at all types of injuries across all the anatomical regions: head and neck, the lower limbs, abdominal, thoracic, etc. So pretty well, all of these categories, people with diabetes were more likely to be admitted to hospital for such conditions.